Teen sees boy sitting alone on bus, finds out why, then hands over his cash. He heard something from behind his seat, so he turned his head, looking to see if he could find out what made the noise. Then he saw it, and he could feel his stomach twist into a knot. He could see a small boy with his head in his arms. Despite his best efforts, it was clear that he was upset. Tom heard the boy and could tell there was something very wrong. Then he caught a glimpse of the boy's face, and the feeling only got worse. Any child can easily find it difficult to start at a new school. They have many fears that run through their mind, like how well will they fit in? Will they be late on their first day? And will there be good people to make friends with there? All of these questions can have anyone a nervous wreck, especially a child. So for Dale, a 7-year-old boy coming back home from his first day at his new school, all of his fears came true.
Also, if you have not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these real-life stories every day. Now, back to the story.
Dale had gone to his first day at Holly Family Catholic School, and he felt that the first few hours were great. He tried to become familiar with the many winding corridors and strange classrooms. He even tried chatting with his classmates and teachers. He started chatting to a boy on the playground at recess. Maybe this new school wasn't so bad. But when the bell rang to indicate the day was over, Dale had done something he'd regret. It was 3:15 when Dale got out of school. He could see longtime students chatting excitedly about how they'd spend the rest of their day. The mass of students was racing out the doors to get home. Dale unenthusiastically walked at the back of the crowd while slowly walking out the gates. There, Dale could see the school bus waiting there for him. He had never ridden a bus alone before, but his mom had taught him what to do in every circumstance, so he thought he knew how it would go, but he was wrong. There were other students from the school sitting on the bus, but none that Dale knew. He felt like all eyes were on him, so he went straight to the back of the bus. He looked out the window and started to think about getting home. After a few stops, most of the children had left and an old man had gotten on when he sat down and peered down at Dale. What was he doing? Dale didn't know how things would go so wrong. It was now 3:40 and Dale's mother hadn't seen any sign of him. He should have been home by 3:30. She was worried now, but all she could do was make herself tea and wait. It was only 10 minutes, but he'd be back any minute now. She nervously stared at the clock, not taking her eyes off it. It was his first day there, but she was confident her son could do it, but she didn't understand what was going on. When the clock struck 4, Dale's mother couldn't keep her nerves under control anymore. What had happened to her child? She picked up the phone to call the principal to tell her that her son hadn't made it home. The school used its emergency chat group to send a notification. It described what the boy was wearing and told everyone to keep a sharp eye out for him, but Dale didn't have much time left. After 50 minutes on the bus had passed, Dale started feeling suspicious. He felt his house wasn't this far away. When it was an hour, his stomach flipped. Had the bus driven past his house without stopping? The old man was still watching him intently. The little boy didn't understand why he was looking at him. But when the man got up and started walking towards Dale, he got very nervous. The man was now sitting just a few seats away. Dale now noticed that his eyes were bloodshot. It was just Dale, the bus driver, and this old man. Dale didn't know what to do. Dale just wanted to be home with his mom. He wanted to be safe in his bed. He wasn't aware of how much more he'd have to go through. It had been more than an hour sitting on the bus alone now. Each minute passed very slowly while the man kept his gaze on Dale. When Dale saw the bus stop back at his school, he felt something very strange was going on. He could feel his mind race while his hands started to sweat. When the doors to the bus flung open, he saw 3 older kids board the bus. This was his chance. Tom, a senior student at the Holy Family Catholic School in Liverpool, boarded the bus after basketball practice after school. He was accompanied by 2 of his friends, Harry and Dylan. They took their seats at the front of the bus and chatted excitedly. It was their first day back at school after December break, but none of the boys could have suspected how the day would end. Tom's phone buzzed and he pulled it out of his pocket. When he saw the message, his brow furrowed an expression of concern, but he continued to chat with his friends. That's when he heard a sob from the back of the bus. He turned to see an old man walk past him and get off the bus, and a devastated little boy sobbing into the sleeves of his parka was sitting at the back of it. What happened? He approached Dale and asked him what had upset him so much. Through the tears, Dale explained he was new in the area and had gotten on the wrong bus. To add to the boy's anxiety, he had no cell phone and probably didn't have enough money to get home. In fact, he didn't even know where his home was. That's when Tom noticed the tennis shoes with blue laces the boy was wearing. He was the boy everyone was looking for. After listening to the little boy's dilemma, Tom knew what he had to do. He pulled a fistful of notes out from his back pocket and gave them to the crestfallen boy. Then he told the bus driver to stop the bus. "It's okay, mate, don't worry. You'll be home soon," he reassured Dale. Then he pulled out his phone, but Tom knew he had to be quick as time was running out. Tom, Harry, and Dylan began to search for taxi services on their phones. Bingo! They called the Delta taxi service and sent him to their location. And just to make sure that Dale would be safe, they waited with him for the taxi to arrive. But none of the teens expected that they'd go viral for their good deed. Another student who'd witnessed the incident posted the story on Facebook. "There really are some truly decent kids out there. All I know is his name is Tom and he's a year 11 pupil at Holy Family. So if anyone knows him or his parents, let them know what a lovely lad they've raised. Faith in humanity restored a little today." It wasn't long before the story spread on social media like wildfire. Harry Campbell's mother Colette wrote, "Harry had told Dylan to ring the taxi to pick him up, to make sure he got home safe. God love him, this little fellow was upset and had gotten the wrong bus, and with it being his first day, wouldn't have known very many people either." But would the identity of the kind and considerate senior ever be uncovered? After the story went viral, someone who knew Tom personally tagged his older sister Katie O'Brien in the post. She replied, "Hi everyone, it was my little brother. I've just been tagged in this by a friend of mine. We're so proud of Tom and it's so lovely to know he's a good lad in the outside world." "The school rang our mom and left a lovely message," Katie added. "All your comments are so lovely, they've had us all close to tears. Tom will hate all the attention." One mother replied to Katie's comment with, "You should be so proud of him. Also tell his teacher who can use him as an example for all to follow. Well done, Tom." When Tom saw Dale at school the next day, he asked him how he was doing. Dale replied by handing him his money back, explaining the taxi driver refused to take it. The taxi driver had been so moved by Dale's tears that he decided to drive him home at no charge. It wasn't long before Tom's act of kindness reached Matthew Syme, the head of the school. He was delighted that Tom and his friends had shown such compassion. "It's just lovely, and at the start of the year it really sets the tone for everyone else," he said. Then he made a comment about Tom's character. "Tom is an incredibly thoughtful and all-round good guy. He was just pleased the boy had gotten home safe. He's set a great example in front of a whole bus of year 7s who have all that worry and anxiety about the bigger kids." He also said that Tom's good deed is an amazing example of how older pupils at the school are expected to look out for the younger ones. There was such a buzz around Ruth's post that soon Dale's story had been picked up by local news stations. "Tom can't quite believe all the fuss," Katie told Sky News. "He honestly never thought it would go this far, but he's happy that teenagers can be seen in a good light." Tom's father Kenny later said how proud he was of his thoughtful and caring son. "I'm very proud of him. He's a very thoughtful lad and has a great personality," he told The Echo. "He didn't tell me what had happened until later in the night when he realized people were talking about it on Facebook." And what does Tom think about all the attention? Well, he doesn't think what he did was a big deal, but his family thinks otherwise. His sibling admitted that she and her family were proud of all 3 of the boys for helping, adding, "It's just so nice to see teenagers getting some good press for a change."
If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with someone who may find it interesting too. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.